statements about the president going to be able to unilaterally refuse to spend money that Congress has appropriated. I get it. He ran for office, but that doesn't change the Constitution. There are other processes that we have to go through. We don't allow presidents to act outside of the Constitution. I would certainly hope you would advise the president that he is also bound, that he will take an oath of office here in a few days to uphold the Constitution, and we have to abide by that, not because you just believe something. There is a process to go through. But my question is, how will Congress be able to negotiate in good faith if the president is simply able to disregard the bipartisan laws that are passed through the appropriation process? How do we negotiate with someone who says, I'm just going to do what I want, to the hell with the Constitution?
Again, Senator, I think that's a mischaracterization of the president's viewpoint on this matter, and it is not something in which would impact bipartisan negotiations, notwithstanding anything that he announces with regard to impoundment.
So if the president can refuse to spend appropriations passed by Congress, wouldn't he now just basically have the power to simply pick all the winners and losers who receive government funding? He has all that power.
No, of course not. But again, I'm not going to get into the parameters of the power that it requires a policy process by his incoming team.
Very concerning. Congress has granted the president broad authorities to respond to real emergencies and crises, like pandemics and natural disasters. However, past administrations of both parties have unfortunately abused these authorities, as the chairman and I have noted. In fact, Senator Paul and I have worked together on bipartisan legislation to curb the abuse of presidential emergency powers and reassert proper congressional oversight. And I'm deeply concerned about reporting that indicates that you designed the plan to abuse the National Emergency Act to circumvent laws passed by Congress by moving military construction money to build the border wall. Do you commit, so my question for you, sir, is do you commit to not recommend the use of presidential emergencies to accomplish the president's policy agenda?
Senator, with regard to that instance in our first term, we were specifically using the transfer authority that had been provided in the language of the Department of Defense appropriations to be able to transfer that authority to the Army Corps of Engineers for its use on the border wall. It was specifically a transfer authority that Congress had given the president in the underlying appropriation.
There was you circumvented the laws. I think it's pretty clear. My question is, next question and last question here in remaining time, will you support efforts to rein in presidential authority and ensure that Congress has a rightful say, in the use of emergency powers? Will you support those efforts?
I'm not going to speak on future legislation, but the administration will review anything that comes to their desk, and OMB will have a definite role in reviewing that legislation, as you know, in terms of our enrolled bill process for the president.
So, very simple question. Do you believe Congress has a rightful role in the use of emergency powers?